allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there somebody to lead the invocation this evening? Okay, no. Then we'll just go on. On section 2, letter A, we'd like to take this time to recognize city resident Bob Barnes. And if Assistant Chief Gaines could come on up to the microphone, he has a few words.
Good evening. I've got the honor to introduce one of our great citizens here, but before I do that, I'd like to just share a little story with you. November 11th, as we all know, is Veterans Day. Well, one of the veterans in our city decided instead of receiving, he wanted to give that day. So he came up with this great plan and worked with Hilltop that he wanted to give all the city employees a free meal. It's not such a small undertaking when you realize how many employees it is and that we're not all there at the same time. So he worked out this deal with Hilltop to serve us a free meal from 6:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night. And what a great person he is. I've gotten to know him a little bit, and I'm just so honored to meet him and just the great things that he's done for our city. And we appreciate it here with the police department. Everything that he's done for us. There were so many city employees that came out, visited with him, and shared a meal with him. And Bob, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done. Thank you to get to know you, and I appreciate your support for the police department.
Thank you, Tim. Well, I want to thank you very much, Tim, and the city council for having me here, because I came here 5 years ago. My wife was very ill, and my daughter, who happens to be with us tonight, got a house for me over on Cayuga Street, and we came here, and shortly afterwards, my wife went in a nursing home for 4.5 years, lost her last November. But the city has just been great. My neighbors have been great. It's just been a great place for me to live. And I wanted to recognize the police department, which patrols our street constantly, all the streets in town, I assume, because I sure see them quite a bit. Our street department cleans everything up. You couldn't ask for a cleaner city in the world than what we got here. So thank you all for the wonderful city we have. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed living here and hope to stay here for the rest of my life. Thank you.
This is a certificate of appreciation to Bob Barnes in appreciation of his love and generosity toward the City of Buchanan, his commitment to our country, and service in the United States Air Force. Can I have a hug?
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you very much.
All right, now we want you to turn it this way and look this way for the photo op. We'll start here and we'll go that way, okay?
Thank you. I would like to add one footnote. You're all familiar with Facebook. My daughter put on one of the interviews on Facebook at the TV station. I even received an email from Munich, Germany, where I did a festival for 8 years in a row. I was a square dance caller, for those that don't know, and traveled the world for 40-some years. But I received an email from Munich, Germany, and from Malaga, Spain, and over 150 emails because of that interview. It just tears me up. It's really something. Thank you all.
Oh, we love
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
much again, Bob. We really appreciate it. Okay, now we'd like to move on to recognition of Carla Cole, and I have a few words that I'd like to say. So if Carla, if you would accompany me to the microphone, please.
Oh, gosh.
I'm kind of struggle with words sometimes. I get a little choked up about things, especially when it's important to me. You've all heard me kind of go on and on about things that I'm really passionate about. And so I've written everything down, and I'm going to read it verbatim because I figured this was a pretty monumental occasion, and I wanted to do a good job. So I'm just going to read, okay? Tonight, we would like to take a moment and honor Carla Cole for her 6 years of faithful service as mayor to the City of Buchanan. Carla became mayor on March 8, 2010. During her tenure as mayor, she accomplished many things and supported the city and its residents. Here are just some of the highlights that happened in the city during her 6 years of service. I have a whole separate list. Bill and Carla attended a Michigan Municipal League meeting and brought back the idea of Thrill on the Hill, and we all know how great that's turned out. She was involved in the watershed project revitalization of the mill race. She worked on the second phase that was completed for the McCoy Creek Trail. Most recently, she's been involved in the development of the Fitness Center project and the Lehman's Winery project. There was a big project at the Tin Shop Theater during her tenure, which resulted in the insulating and re-siding of the whole building, so now that Tin Shop can be used during all seasons of the year. It doesn't just have to be in the summer now. She was instrumental in hiring the chief as the city manager after he was interim manager in July of 2010. She helped during the purchase of the Edgewater Bank building that moved the police department from the Ross Sanders building up to the Edgewater building. She was part of the big wastewater treatment plant with the SAW grant, which was a multi-million-dollar grant that the city won. And part of that was the wastewater treatment project was started. The Shermer Parkway lift station project was completed. And all of our sewers and storm drains have been videotaped with a camera, so we now know what's under the streets and how we can work to keep all of our infrastructure running as the years go by. She also was part of developing and turning the city's 11-acre brownfield into a positive project and a point of pride for the city, resulting in the Lehman's Orchard store and the fitness center. And her legacy will go on due to the purchase of the River Street 9 acres, which will be the future site of the fire department and the DPW, along with commercial sites, which will benefit the future of Buchanan. Of course, this is just a partial list of her contributions to the city. Carla has generously given her time on the landfill board, the DDA, the Board of Review, the Joint Water and Sewer Board, the Farmers Market Board, and she was also a founding member of the Dog Park Committee. On a personal note, Carla has been a great mentor to me as a city commissioner. When I was a new commissioner, she patiently explained the rules and procedures and helped me through the challenges that new members face. Her support made a big difference to me. Carla, thank you so much for all you've done for the city. We can't thank you enough for sharing your time and talents. We hope that you'll enjoy a little more free time now that you are Mayor Pro Tem. We hope you can enjoy the extra time by spending it with your husband, family, dogs, and maybe even some extra camping trips. Thank you again, and please accept this plaque in recognition and thanks for your 6 years of outstanding service.
Thank you.
Turn it and look.
Now I know why I'm so tired.
I know, right?
Thank Thank you so much. I have enjoyed my term as mayor, or terms, plural. I've enjoyed it. There have been times when I haven't, but probably 98% of the time enjoyed it. And we have accomplished a lot in the city of Buchanan. And with our new mayor, I think we can accomplish much more in our near future. So thank you for doing this. It's really, really nice. Thank you.
All right, that brings us to roll call. Excuse me, Gladys?
Cole?
Yes.
Hess?
Yes?
Moore?
Here.
Tarney?
Here.
Bianski?
Yes.
You have a quorum, Your Honor.
Great. Okay, that brings us to public comments. Citizens are allowed up to 3 minutes to discuss any item on the agenda. Do we have any takers? Okay, thank you. Moving right along, we're to the consent calendar. I need a motion to, did we want to add that check?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we would, go ahead.
We'd like to add a check in the amount of $1,700. That is to Walmart for the shop with the cop gift cards. And I believe Assistant Police Chief Tim Gaines is going to speak on that shortly.
Okay, so that would be added as letter E to the consent calendar. Can I have a motion to approve our consent calendar?
Point of order. Could you tell us what that check number is?
Oh,
Check number 73835.
Okay, thank you.
okay.
I'll make the motion, Your Honor, that we amend the consent calendar to include the check to Walmart for the $1,700.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Moore?
Yes.
Bianski?
Yes.
Cole?
Yes.
Hess?
Yes,
Tarney?
Yes.
Unanimous, Your Honor.
thank you. And now we're to reports by departments,
Excuse me.
committees.
I'll make a motion that we approve the amended consent calendar through the chair.
And I'll support it.
Okay, roll call.
Tarney?
Yes.
Bianski?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Cole?
Yes.
Hess?
Yes.
Unanimous, Your Honor.
Okay, sorry that I jumped the gun there. Okay, now we will move to reports by departments, committee, and boards. First up is the Buchanan District Library Story Walk project, and tonight we'll be hearing from Barbara Wallace. Come on up, Barbara.
Hello, Commissioners. I know it's been several months since I've been here to talk about this project, but we've made some progress, and I'm here to ask for your second approval on the plans. So I think I summarized things for you in your packets that you received, a little bit about what the Story Walk is and how it came to be in Buchanan and where we are right now with the project. As I mentioned, an anonymous donor paid for the fabrication of 30 of these powder-coated aluminum display boards, and Tracy Dippo, the owner of Redwood Hardware, has donated all of the other costs for materials, so screws and nuts, the cedar posts, the easy spike fittings that will go into the ground, which the posts stick into. So I've met with the Preservation Society, the Common Board, obviously the trail folks on the trail board, and we've decided that we'd really like this to live at the Common. There are 30 of them, and they would start alongside the farmer's market and wrap around the tin shop. There'd be a few by the stage, and they'd come and end by the mill. We think that's a great area because it's right outside the library. It's also the destination in downtown Buchanan, so when people are in town for concerts, in the summertime especially, people are hanging out in the common space. And it'd be great for the library to be able to use this to take kids outside. It's centrally located. The problem problem with having it further off the beaten path along the trail is that we can't monitor it as closely. This way we can keep an eye on it every day. We can check and see if there's been any damage. It's easier for us to replace the books. So as you'll see right here, there are 2 example pages from Where the Wild Things Are. And essentially this will look like will be 30 of these, 25 or 30 of these around the common, and each will have a page or 2 from a children's book. And the idea is to change them every few weeks, put a new book in there. And the book pages are laminated, so they're weatherproof. Ideally, I'd like to work with the schools a little bit and have some of the younger classes maybe write a story together, and the kids can put their story in the story walk. I think it'd be great if our senior center wanted to write a story one month and have their story in the story walk. I think there are a lot of different ways that the community can use this. And I also mentioned that we talked about offering sponsorships of these posts. For a few $100s, a business or a private person can purchase a small plaque that can be in remembrance of or in honor of their business, and it can go on the cedar post. And that revenue will be split between the library and the trail, and most of that money will be saved so we can maintain these over time as they weather. The plexiglass will need to be replaced, things like that.
Okay, commissioners, do you have questions for Ms. Wallace? Go ahead.
I don't remember having you come to a common committee meeting. So
Sarah Galt was there with Dave Perez, who presented this idea, I believe. Library board president, and Sarah Galt was there on behalf of the library.
maybe that was a meeting I didn't, because we don't usually have meetings
And I know
like
that you,
in the summer because we're doing the concert. So.
right, and I know that you don't formally vote on things, right, in your common meetings. Usually what we were looking for essentially was the blessing of the common committee.
Well, I did individually talk with Sarah about this, and I had some concerns I shared with her about placing it around the common. So I don't really know any of the feedback from the other members, but I suggested this stretch out here along the sidewalk on this 3rd Street as a better location because, especially you're talking about 25, 30 boards, that's a lot. Do you have a map showing where each of these posts you're anticipating putting them? Because it could end up looking like a picket fence around the.
Sure.
I mean, that's kind of my concern about.
Tracy Dippo and I plotted out 25 spots and drew a map ourselves. We've been unable to get a to-scale map of the common that was large enough for us to actually plant these on there in a meaningful way. We were able to get an 11 by 17 overhead view, and that still doesn't really do the project justice. We need to see it on a 3 by 5 essentially.
And how tall is the post? Like, where would that be? Like, as a child height or?
About 3.5 feet tall.
Okay.
Another option would be to maybe install 5 or 6 or 7 of them, and to have the commissioners take a week or 2 after the installation to look at them. I think part of this project, it's hard to visualize what this would look like until you get into it. Maybe we could explore that option, put a few in the ground and see what they look like and get some feedback then.
So your goal really is to, say, improve people's interest in reading.
Yes.
And not just really for something to encourage them for walking a certain distance.
No,
as they move and have a story told as they walk from post to post as a family, say, or that's not really the goal. It's really just to have a story told in a different kind of format. Is that?
I think it's very much twofold. I think it's to encourage people to read. I think it's to encourage people to spend time as a family, but it's also to get outside and to walk and to exercise. That's why I reached out to the trail initially instead of just doing this independently as a library, because I think that both of those things are important and they go hand in hand in this project. I think that both of those ideas supplement each other really well.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know the circumference of the common? Does anybody have the dimensions? It's really easy to do the math.
In feet, you mean? Or like in distance?
Yeah, how big around would the circle be? You're on the common committee, you know how big around it is?
Well, I want to know exactly where they plan to put it. I want to see it.
She said around the common.
on a map.
The
If it goes along the tin shop or which direction, I just want to know where the plan is.
And I'll repeat my question then. How big is the common, circumference of the common?
I think it's like 300 by 300.
So we're looking at 300 feet, so we're looking at basically 10 foot apart.
When Tracy if you can imagine, if you're standing at the back of the library and looking at the common, the stage is out in front of you. We have 7 going up the side here along the street, another 6 or 7 back along the tin shop, 2 on the side of the stage, a few more heading down towards the mill, and then the rest along that parking lot on the other side of the mill. So you could get on the story walk. As you're walking from the Ross Sanders and you go around the garden club's big garden right there, you'd be able to see a storyboard. And you could hop on it there.
So there wouldn't be nothing along the farmer's market there at all?
No, it wouldn't interfere with, the semicircle of the overhead, the overhead, I don't know what you want to call that. Nothing there. And that big sidewalk that sort of runs towards the tin shop from the library, we envision the posts on the furthest left of that, so.
Yeah, so it'd be 10 or 15 foot apart.
Yeah, I think maybe a little further on that stretch. The people who designed this said that they should be, you need to be able to see them. We're talking small children, we want to encourage them. It can't be miles and miles long.
No.
Right, so so 15 to 20 feet apart is ideal, so they can see the next one and be encouraged to sort of stick with it and finish the book.
Darla, did you?
Yeah, I have a couple of concerns. One, I think you need to speak to the Bard Park Committee. I think you need to talk to the Trail Committee, the Common Committee, who can get together and discuss this with you. And I think you also need to talk to the farmers market people because they do use quite a large area. Sometimes they expand around away from their archway for the market. My other concern is that's a lot of posts in a small area. We pride ourselves with that area. It's open, it's easy to get in and out of. We do have sometimes heavier, big equipment that go through there, or they got big projects going on. And I'm really concerned. I couldn't vote for this without hearing from these other committees to see how they feel about it. And I think the Common Committee, even they don't have a regular meeting, but I think they need to get together and discuss it as a group.
A lot of these city groups meet regularly, but they meet rather informally, so it's hard for me to sort of present things officially. They don't take minutes, for example, or their boards don't make formal motions, so perhaps would having a president or something of one of these committees write a letter in support or expressing their opinions. I'm looking for ways to sort of get that information to you in a more official way.
Right, I'd just like to hear from the rest of that group, of each group as a whole, rather than just one person. I want to hear from all of them on each committee as to how they feel about this. I think it's a great idea.
Yes.
I think it's great for the kids. I love the idea, but I'm not so sure it's good for the common. And I understand that you want to keep an eye on them for, vandalism, which we do have a problem with that now and then. But I just really feel we need more input from everybody before we make a decision or, give you a go-ahead. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to ask another question.
Sure.
Does it have to be 25 posts?
It doesn't. We had 30 made in case a couple went missing or were damaged beyond repair. Really, the amount is up to us, but they're only this wide, so you can only fit so many pages of a book. Most children's books are pushing 30 pages, so even if you stick 2 in a slat, you still need 15 for the book, another 1 or 2 for the covers, and maybe a third one for some informational material. It'd be nice to put a map of the trail in one of these and to talk a little bit about what the story walk is and how it came to be and who it's been funded and supported by. So maybe 20 that you'd need total on the low end.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we formally look into this, because I understand your difficulty trying to get a hold of the right people and then having some people tell you that they didn't talk to the right people and then you didn't get to talk to the right people. So I'd like for the commission to formally look into it and approve this. Because, they all want everybody to read, they all want everything, and they don't want to play together. So I think this is a great idea for everybody playing together. I think this is a great idea for getting everybody to read. And then the mayor or the former mayor and the former second mayor can get with the people they need to get with and get their approval or denial. 'Cause that's the only way it's going to get approved, Barbara.
Okay, so why don't you make a motion about that?
I'll make a motion that we formally look into the story walk. And I want to amend that, I'm not done. I want this to be done by the second week of January so we can give Barbara a decision before the end of 2017.
Okay.
What date?
January 15th, 2017.
I will say that the trail board and the library, are both obviously pushing for the common, but I understand that there are more hats in the ring, so to speak. But I'll work on getting that formalized.
Okay,
I'll support that, seeing as we're going to look into more information, get more input on it. I think it's a great idea. I really do.
and we would like to help, so want to make a roll call?
Torney?
Yes.
Bianski?
Yes.
Hess?
Yes?
Moore?
Yes.
Cole?
Yes.
Unanimous, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you,
Alrighty.
commissioners.
Yes, thank you. All right, up next is Shop with the Cop, and we're going to hear from Tim again. Come on up, Tim.
Thank you again. Shop with a Cop, that's a program that we've been doing for quite a few years here with Buchanan. What it is where the police department raises money. This money is all donated to us. It's not city money. It's from businesses and residents within the city. And they donate this money, and we work close with the schools and other agencies to find as many kids that are in need that we can afford. This year, we can afford to do 20 kids. So on December 10th, Saturday morning, a group of officers in our squad cars will be traveling to these residents, picking up the children. We'll be heading over to Walmart, where each child will get a gift card and be able to go out and purchase gifts for them, for their siblings, for their parents, and just have a great time. Walmart has done a great job with us. They usually have Santa Claus there. They got cookies and punch and all kinds of stuff for the kids. And then once we're done shopping with these little guys, we load them back in the squad car with all their goodies, and a lot of times not everything fits in there, so we got to decide if we're going to leave a kid or not. No, just kidding. So we put everybody and their kids in there, and we bring them back to the police department. The Church of the Nazarene, who's sponsored us these last few years, they'll come to the police department with wrapping papers and, again, cookies and juice and stuff like that, and help the children wrap their presents. And it just makes for a great day, and it's just a great opportunity for our police department to step out and kind of lend a helping hand to our own community. And these children are from our community. They might be just outside of Buchanan, but they're from the Buchanan school system. So we're just happy to be able to help them in any way we can. So that's a little bit about the Shop with the Cop, and I want to thank you for approving that check.
Okay,
Thanks, Tim.
Anybody have any questions, comments?
And if you're not doing anything, 8 o'clock, December 10th, Walmart, come on in, you can help us shop. We'll put a couple little kids with you. It's a great adventure. It really is. So you're all welcome.
Sounds really exciting.
What time is that again, Tim?
8 o'clock, Walmart in Niles.
AM?
AM, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta get up a little early.
Yep. You gotta get an early start.
Thank you so much, Tim. We really appreciate all your work on that. Thank you.
You bet, thank you.
All right, moving on to unfinished business. We're going to discuss the 2008 Ford Eldorado light-duty bus as surplus and accept the sealed bid. Bill, did you want to talk about that?
Ford light-duty bus as surplus material. I didn't find it in my packet here.
Do you want mine
Oh, you got
or
it?
Dan's?
Oh, I don't see you have mine.
She's got one.
The commissioners got a copy, but we didn't get a copy.
All right,
A little
I was a
snafu
little
there.
lost. Okay. Yeah, Mayor, Commissioners, we did go out for bid for this bus. This is number 3 bus that we own. This is a bus that was in some need of some repair. The Bethel Apostolic Tabernacle Church was our only bidder. And they went out and researched the vehicle, felt comfortable with what's needed to go into it, and they've offered a amount of $2,800 for the bus. I said that's a very good offer by way of what we've received for those in the past. So my recommendation is that since it's only bid, we accept it and award the vehicle to Bethel.
Okay, any questions?
What happens to the funding?
This $2,800 goes into our transportation fund by law, by statute. That's where the money has to go.
Okay.
So the buses are all ours.
Yeah, those buses are all ours, but they were purchased with state and federal money. And when they are disposed of, the proceeds go into our transportation fund.
Okay.
It just, we have access and use of that, but only for transportation purposes. So.
Okay, yeah, Pat?
I'd like to make the motion that we approve this bid in the amount of $2,800.
I'll give a second on that, from the Bethel Apostolic Tabernacle Church.
Okay, roll call, please.
Bianski,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes?
Moore,
Yes.
Attorney,
Yes.
unanimous, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to new business. We're going to be hearing from Michael Reed. He's going to be giving us a PowerPoint presentation regarding our new equipment here in the commission chambers. Welcome, Michael. Thank you for coming.
No problem. So this is what we show on Channel 17, which is the public broadcasting channel that the City of Buchanan pays for. And it's being utilized a lot more than it was, and it needs to be. We have it set to 5 seconds right now. It's a lot slower once you get on to the channel, so people at home can actually read the slides. This is the type of material that you can do on that without getting in any trouble with public broadcasting. We also have the vintage football and wrestling videos playing at certain times with Coach Mucho that just passed away. You can see him every day. There's a video on there. We have every day this city council meeting plays on there at certain times, and there's a slide on the slideshow that shows that. And we're just kind of demonstrating the system. I mean, we have camera hanging from the ceiling here. We have the projector set up. Last meeting, there was a few issues with it. They're all worked out now. Not only can you do, it's not just PowerPoints. Brandon, why don't you pull up a video just to show some people? If people bring in videos and they want to show any kind of pictures, I mean, you can play them straight onto there. This is just a trailer. It plays it real time. We have the sound turned off up here, but it will play straight through the projector and through the TV. It sounds like surround sound. But people can bring in whatever they want to the meetings, and not just to the meetings, but any other time this room is being used. So it's a really good setup, and with showing you this, we're also working on the mics. So you can hear that's not good. That's getting fixed as well. And from what we're hearing, we're starting to think that maybe some padding in between the table and the microphones will do some good to absorb that sound, because this shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's happening all around the table, and we're trying to fix these microphones without replacing them. Because everything else is upgraded, but these microphones are not, so we need to get them working the best we can, or eventually moving on to some clip-on units or something where they're just gone off the tables, and people walk in, grab a clip-on off of the charger, clip it on, and good to go. So for now, we need to get these working a little bit better, not only for the meetings, but people hear this on the TV channel. So,
Yeah.
But any questions with this and any of the, any questions with what you can do with it?
Go ahead, Pat.
If someone wanted to have something added to that PowerPoint or that kind of rotation, who at the City Hall would they contact? Gladys?
Right now,
or-
it's Gladys.
Okay.
I'm going to sit down with Bill. We're going to talk about maybe me stepping in a little bit more just to help out with the entire Channel 17. It gets to a point where there's going to be so much stuff that wants to be added. 12 hours a day is going to want to be used on that channel, and Gladys can't handle that. There's just no way to do her job plus do this. This is extra. So we're kind of working together, trying to figure out a good setup for if something needs added, just call us, and we'll show up and do it. So that's in the works.
Go ahead, Dan.
The only meetings that's being televised is this one, right now?
Yeah, this one and then the vintage sports, but yeah.
So all of the rest of the meetings would be a very good way, very easy way for them to be, would it be difficult to tape all the other meetings?
It would just depend, are all the other meetings here?
Yes, other than the landfill, which I'm working on, but that'll be down the road a ways.
How many meetings per week are there, or per month, do you know?
There's one every Monday and Wednesday, right, pretty much?
Yes.
Well, the important
Monday,
ones would be the
Tuesday,
DDA meeting, you know.
Yeah. That's something to look into. We have no problem working something out where, one of our guys are here to record every meeting. We don't care. We offer 24 hours a day service, just in case there's an IT problem for somebody who's open 24 hours, somebody needs to be there. So having someone here at 6 o'clock on a Monday and Wednesday to record is no big deal.
So it'd be a cost thing then, too?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a cost thing.
Okay.
Do we want to do that moving forward? Probably the important meetings at least. So, but yeah, and probably not every meeting.
What about YouTube?
Yeah, Cody's working on YouTube. And with the proposal I have for Bill, that's all included. The YouTube channel, the recording, which is what Cody's doing now, being here at every meeting. I was just doing these meetings, but we could talk about more meetings that are important, and then adding it to the channel, and then after it's added, making one DVD, good DVD for Gladys. If she needs to duplicate it, there's a machine over there that does that, but that way she doesn't even have to try to get from the recording digital file to a DVD. It's all labeled for and ready to go.
Okay. Anyone else? Dale? Carla? Okay. Thank you very much for your update, and we appreciate all the nice equipment. It makes it, really nice. Go ahead, Gladys.
One thing too is there's a lot of nonprofits in our community, and they send in, or they'll email, or they'll even mail in their flyers. And it's a process that we take a picture of it, and then we put it in the PowerPoint presentation, save it to a flash drive, and then load it in. Today, I don't know if you use the flash drive for that, but we had some pictures that Officer Gaines sent to me, and I copied them and put them on this PowerPoint of Mr. Barnes's Veterans Day program. And so those kind of things are also on there. A lot of the fundraisers, whenever they have a poster, pictures, that Officer Gaines had taken up at the hilltop. And so those are on the PowerPoint presentation update as of today. And so that scrolls and shows on there. Not only does the City of Buchanan see this, but City of Niles, there they are now. The City of Niles, Buchanan Township, I believe the City of Dowagiac.
Yes. Mhm.
And St. Joe even get this channel, whoever has Comcast. The City of Niles, when I first started 19 years ago, also had a public broadcasting channel. And LMC actually ran it for them, where the City of Buchanan's public access channel, that time it was Channel 10, the high school partnered with the City of Buchanan to have this channel. They housed it at the school, and during the second year I was here, we brought it back to everything to the City of Buchanan. And we still had some of that equipment when Cody started. So he's learned actually like 2-3 different systems in just this short amount of time. So thanks, Cody, for all your hard work. But I just wanted to mention that the City of Niles did give up their public broadcasting channel, and we have it. We've thought about, how we could make some funds or make some money off of this channel. However, with it being a public broadcasting channel, we can't do that. So we used to extend the offer out to the other communities if they wanted to put anything else on, but we're doing more with less all the time, and it's difficult to put everything from Niles, Dowagiac, St. Joe City on our channel and tax us. So we do go a little bit out of Buchanan city limits, but it helps the nonprofits, and it just shows who we are and volunteering and accepting from
I
the
think that's
community.
good.
NPR is free though, too. So I mean, even though we can't make money, we can shake the hat. I mean, you want to put something on here, I mean, that's how NPR stays alive. They get federal funding, they get state funding, but that's what they do. They shake the hat, and they ask for individuals. Now, if you want, you can't say, I mean, it's the old cliche. When you walk into a basketball game or a football game, there's no fee, but you can't get in without making a donation of $5. So it's all wording, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of, I wasn't gonna, say, oh, you can charge for the service, but most cities do make money from it. And I hate to say it, but it's not really regulated anymore. Nobody comes in and checks. It's just not, because you have the rules, you sign the agreement, and if they catch you, they cancel your channel. But, as long as you don't charge and you're not saying it's $50 for us to put your ad on there, even if, just say it's free, but we take donations to pay for the channel, and people will. People will do that, and it's public broadcasting. There are small businesses that'll put little things on there, and it's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. So.
We can check into that.
And we have the guy that actually turns this. It goes from here, and then he actually regulates it. We have his contact information now, so it's just a matter of sending an email and saying, hey, is this okay? And it's really up to him. If he says it's okay, he's the guy. If he says, yeah, do it, then it's a no-brainer. So.
Okay. Anyone else have questions for Michael?
No, I think it's
Any
great.
comments? I think it's really important now with the Berrien County record being unavailable to us, that there's alternative ways to get information about what's going on in the city. I think that's great. And yeah, we do broadcast to Dowagiac because a coworker of mine always says, I saw you on TV. So thank you very much for all your hard work, you and Cody. We appreciate it. Thank you. Up next, we're going to discuss City Commissioners Board Committee assignments. We're going to review that and amend that. As City Commissioners, we're required to serve on certain boards. Bill, did you want to go over that?
Mayor, Commissioners, in your packets and your information, you should have a list of present standing committees that you all are on, and I guess I'll throw it back to the board. Is there any desire to move from the present committees by any commissioner?
The only question I have is I was under the assumption that the landfill was supposed to be attended by the mayor. And if I'm wrong, I was wrong. Okay, wrong assumption. That's all that matters.
All right.
I told her I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. So do we need to make a motion that we accept these, or is there more discussion? Yes, go ahead, Pat.
I'm certainly happy with my committee assignments, so I'm not asking for any changes tonight.
Okay.
Neither am I.
You're all set? Carly?
The only thing I can think of is that you, as mayor, you are now on the DDA board,
Right.
and you are a representative on there, so I'd like to stay on that board and take your seat, if that's possible.
Right.
And if you want to do that by motion, that would be fine.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'll make the motion that Carla Cole be appointed to the DDA as our representative, along with your, by statute, mayoral representation.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call?
Cole?
Yes.
Hess?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Carney?
Yes.
Bianski?
Yes.
Unanimous, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. All right. Moving right along to new business, letter C, we're going to consider purchasing a new plow system for our current 1997 International dump/plow truck. Bill, did you want to?
Mayor and Commissioners, in your packets you have actually the only quote we received back. Although we did receive a verbal from Truck and Trailer Supply for almost the same amount, just for the hardware. That doesn't include any installation of, I believe, $10,700 just for the hardware to put on. The bid that we have from Dutton, sorry, let me go to that. See, I don't have the, do you have the bid?
I don't know who did it. Did JT? Who did that, JT?
Yeah, I believe in your
Packard?
Packet, yeah.
Yeah, the bid, I believe, was $10,700 for Dutton out of Battle Creek, Grand Rapids, to install the same plow system. We received the bid from Truck and Trailer for $10,700. So they were mutual bids. Okay. Yeah, $10,949 is the bid from Dutton Truck and Trailer Supplies out of Dutton. Excuse me. The hardware alone came from Root Supply Company, and that was for $10,700. Dutton Truck and Trailer Supplies, the one that gave us the bid for $10,949 installed. So it's our recommendation or suggestion that you accept the bid from Truck and Trailer Supplies for $10,947, and also include the $720 for the carbide cutting edge, in lieu of the standard cutting edge that wears out in a couple of weeks. So,
Okay. Anybody have any questions? I have one question. Can this plow system be moved to another truck if something happens to the truck that it's being?
It would,
is it, can you move it, or is once?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay.
I'd have to ask. I can
Okay.
send you a message out on that. But this is, designed for the international truck that we bought from the City of Bridgman, which was was actually a great purchase. It's just that the plow system they had was kind of medium to light duty, and it's basically has fallen apart on us. The hydraulic cylinders have worn out, so we either start replacing 2 of those at this time, and then the actually structure that holds the blade in place is really deteriorated. And this system here actually allows us to change the dimension of the blade from inside the cab rather than manually going out and trying to change it out of basically brute force. So this is a little better plow system than what we had on that truck anyway.
Go ahead.
Is this, was this in the budget, or is this above and beyond budget?
This is above and beyond the budget, although we have reserves, equipment reserves available for these kind of purchases that come up that wasn't necessarily budgeted for. So I think we have over about $130,000 in that account.
But then actually, this should have been budgeted for because it's done in the spring, right? And I mean, they should have known.
Actually, we're going to be coming up in next month to start some real preliminary talks about budget. We get serious with it by April to know. So again, we have a couple more items that we'll be needing to talk about. One possibly a new loader purchase. Our loader is pretty well exhausted, and then also looking at the purchase of a new plow truck or a lightly used truck that might be discovered out there. But both of those will have to be budget items because they are a high dollar purchase. So.
And those would come from the next budget then, is what you're
Yeah.
saying? Okay. Okay, anyone else? Yes, go ahead,
Okay,
Carla.
so what we're looking at is $10,949 for the overall plow, but then you want the standard cutting edge
Yeah,
as well, so you want to
Yeah.
combine those 2 prices?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and get this, what you call it, belly plow system, for
You want,
I've got my glasses on.
you need to add both, Carla.
Yeah.
$11,669.
$10,949 for the plow and the belly plow, or whatever you want to call it, plus the $720 for the standard cutting edge carbide insert.
I think that the total was $11,669.
$669, yeah.
Yes.
Can I get a second on that, please?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Hess,
Yes?
Moore,
Yes.
Tarney,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
unanimous, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. That concludes new business. Now we're moving on to public comment. Citizens are allowed up to 3 minutes to discuss any non-agenda item. Do I have any takers this evening? No? All righty. Now it's time for city manager's comments. Bill?
Commissioners, Mayor, Commissioners, in front of you, you've got a letter from Foster Swift, the attorney representing SMACUS. There's been an opportunity out there to consider reorganizing SMACUS under an additional statute, which is Act 57, rather than what we have been organized under, which is Act 7. The letter that you have in front of you kind of explains the opportunity. There's 2 options there to remain under Act 7, which gets a little complicated, but Act 7 is what we are organized under. It allows us to create a assessment district, and that's the way we have been funding SNACUS along. And again, when I say funding, we only, the assessments only provide like 20% of the budget, okay? And those monies are generally earmarked for purchasing of hardware, the cots, the ambulances, the hardware that's needed to operate an ambulance service. We are one of the 6 owners of the service. The option that you'll read about in this letter would allow us to organize under Act 57, which basically the highlight of that is we would be able to, SMACUS would be able to create an authority similar to the landfill, which would also allow them to go for millage, present the opportunity to fund SMACUS under a millage. So what I'm only offering you tonight is the presentation of a letter, the options, the request that, you know, you go back, read it, understand it, and we could create a work session where we try to bring Brian in to help explain this as well, and or be prepared to discuss it at the next meeting, commission meeting. As you see, the SMACUS would like some direction or indication from our municipality on their preference for organizing and funding the ambulance service from here on out. So, really, we take no action on this tonight, just presenting it to you in information-wise and asking you to read it. Get back with me if you have questions. I'll try to obtain the answers too, but we would have a discussion either at a work session. If you, after getting into it, you want to do a work session, or we can plan for discussion at the next commission meeting.
Okay, Dale?
Yeah, it sounds like to me, Bill, after reading it, it's sort of like getting all the cities and villages and communities to act as one, so we all act as one unit instead of individually.
Yes.
I think having a work session possibly with Brian would probably help, because we probably all have some more questions, even though they have it kind of specified as to option A or B. But
Yeah,
I would be for a work session, but I think that's what the total gist of it. You can keep it the way it is and go individual, or you can go option number 2 and have one big unit. So
yeah.
I would be in favor of a work session.
I think that basically captures the gist of it. We want to continue to fund out of a special assessment that we individually all approve, and or move on to reorganizing and putting SMACUS under an authority that we would give representatives to, but they would be able to operate in SMACUS's interest. They would pursue a millage that would be binding on the district. But I can try to put together a work session and bring Brian in to sit down and, you know, have a full lengthy discussion about the options.
Okay, Carla?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I agree with Dale. I think a work session with Brian, we can sit down and really discuss it and hash it out. I like the idea of a authority. I would imagine there'd be some grants and et cetera out there that might be more available if we have a group like that together. So I think it's a great idea.
Anyone else? Yeah.
I don't know as to whether it'd do any good to just have a meeting with us as a commissioner, since it's 6 municipalities. I mean, if we're gonna operate as a 6 municipality function, shouldn't we do something about trying to get together with these other municipalities?
Yeah, well, each of the municipalities receive the same standard options here. They were just looking for, if they could do it individually and report back that, if we have a consensus on the, say, Act 7 organizing, then that would kind of spare a group trying to get together, or if everybody liked 57, then we've got that, we're that farther ahead. But I think a work session would be valuable for us at least. And if you, if you concur, maybe next Monday, unless you want to try a Saturday, but maybe next Monday, I'll try to schedule a work session at,
Monday, I think I have something going on about any other, and Tuesday and Wednesday I'm at Notre Dame.
okay. Yeah, I was just trying to, I don't know, we could try it Saturday, but Saturdays are a little tough to,
Wrong time of the year for that.
yeah. Anytime this week?
Other than tomorrow, yeah, I'm open to.
Pat, go ahead.
I would also suggest, rather than, if a time cannot be found, maybe we could just all report at a certain time what our impressions are and have a scheduled phone visit or office visit with you per everyone's choice. And then because you obviously know the details of the situation, we could individually discuss it and then tell you our preference at the end of those individual meetings. So that, it may not be possible at this time of year to get everybody together.
I'd be leery of that,
Okay.
in that, we would have to get together and as a board, give the,
Right.
preference, so.
But that would be at a meeting anyway,
Yeah, that
not
would be
at
a
the
meeting
workshop.
anyway. Yeah, the work
I'm
session.
just saying suggestions for alternatives to actually getting everyone in the same
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
getting a presentation of information that maybe not everyone can attend, but having another avenue where people could get the same information individually or in groups, small groups,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
How bad do you want to be there, Dale,
What's that?
at the meeting Monday? Can everybody else be there? Are you the only one that can't be there?
That Monday looks, right now, it does, I have a,
Right.
but
Gail?
I don't know if that's going to be for sure.
I guess my
yet.
question would be then is, what is next Monday like for everybody else?
I can make it.
I mean, you suggested it, didn't you,
Yeah, I
next
mean-
Monday? And I mean, if there's only
Dale's
one of
got-
us,
Dale's got Thursday night off where he could come, and I can come on Thursday night.
Wednesday and Thursday I'm open.
This week.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Wednesday and
I think I'd
Thursday
come
works for me too.
What day you can do it?
Wednesday, Thursday, I'm good.
I think I can do, Wednesday I could probably do too. I don't think I have any meetings that night.
Yeah.
So Wednesday or
Thursday
Thursday?
is choir practice for that concert this
Are you
weekend,
free
so
Wednesday?
Wednesday would be okay with me.
Okay, Wednesday sounds good. What time?
Okay.
You want to start earlier, 6 o'clock, or you want to?
We all make it?
Or
6
7?
o'clock?
I can, if you want to do it at 6, I'll walk in whenever I walk in.
Okay.
I mean,
You want it
Yeah.
later?
You okay with that?
I'm not really too worried one way or the other. I'm going to be a curmudgeon about it either way, probably.
Okay, so 6 o'clock on
6 o'clock
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Okay, great. Do we need to make a formal motion for that, Gladys, or no? Okay, so we agree that we're going to meet Wednesday at 6 PM to discuss the SMACUS letter.
Very good.
All right, great. Thank you, everybody. All right, anything else from city manager's comments?
Have the,
Yeah, okay.
and Mayor Commissioners, in front of you is something we've had regarding rules, procedures for the city commission meetings. I've been speaking with the mayor, reached out to Randy, because it's been a while since these have been reviewed. Randy looked at it and has made some suggestions for clarifying the language and adding to the language. What you have is a red line copy. What I'm asking is that you review it and we have a discussion at next meeting regarding the suggestions. And, you know, again, looking for your input on what Randy has suggested and anything that you may want to add in the review of the policies.
I want to make a comment. I was
Go ahead, Dan.
deeply offended because I watched the video 3 times, and I couldn't figure out what my outbursts come from. My outbursts come from Pat telling me he had the right and the freedom of speech. He didn't have the right. When I talked to the county clerk, he didn't have the right to read his little speech. I was told and advised to ignore it. I know I make some right-wing comments, but I don't make speeches about the right wing. The mayor is brand new, so I don't feel offended by her, but I do feel offended, you, Sergeant at Arms, you, Assistant Mayor, you, the mayor, not calling him out on that. I was deeply offended by the whole outburst. And I didn't want an apology. I don't expect an apology. I believe in his politics. It wouldn't be heartfelt anyhow. Him and I have shook hands several times about our disagreements about politics, but I really wish I can be called to order. And if it would have been me, that's part of the problem too. If it would have been me reading that, I wouldn't even got 3 sentences out. And that's pretty well known. So that's all I wanted to say about it.
And then when you read this over, we're making moves to make sure that we keep our commissioners' comments to business of the city and the city's well-being and activities here in the city. We want to keep a city focus because we're a bipartisan, or a nonpartisan actually, body. And then when you guys have time to read this over, pay attention to page 7 especially. Oops, I'm sorry, it's not 7. There's a section about our commissioners' comments. It's on page 8, and we'd like to make some changes. But we want people to read this over and digest it and kind of think about things. We feel that, you know, people have the right to their opinions, but we need a way to, you know, kind of make sure that those opinions are expressed in a really appropriate way, and we keep the focus of this body on city business. That's our primary goal. That's what we were elected to do. What we're going to do is we're sending this home kind of as homework. Sorry, the teachers, the mayor now. So you have a little bit of homework to look this over, pay very close attention to the red parts. Those are the suggestions that Randy made based on his knowledge of the law and his understanding of, you know, parliamentary procedure and the Roberts Rules of Order. And we want to make changes to make sure that everybody, you know, is staying focused on city business, and we want what's best for the citizens. So if anybody would like to make any further comments about that, there's just a lot to think about there. Okay? All right. Did you have anything else, Bill, for city manager's comments?
I would like to give a little bit of time to Gladys to give us an update on the Thanksgiving dinner that she participated in up at the senior center. I thought it was a very, yep. Go ahead.
I apologize first because I don't have any notes with me. I rested most of the weekend. It was a great Thanksgiving. We served almost 130 dinners at the senior center and delivered 31 to people around town. I think there was
was one just off of Rynearson that was outside the city limits, and one on Bakertown out here outside the city limits. We got calls from Glean. We got, again, we say it's a Buchanan city event. It's all volunteers that does this. We've got volunteers that come from Goshen. We have volunteers that come in from Grand Haven and South Bend. So we haven't extended to out to other communities. However, we don't card people when they come in the door. Majority of them are elderly. They're handicapped. We didn't have too many children this year. Last year, we did have families with little ones and who didn't have any place else to go. It's not just for people that can't afford it or maybe are homeless. It's also for people that don't have any place to go. So it was a great time. People came in to eat. We had Redbud Track and Trail volunteered. Lowry's Market volunteered. Jerry Flenner, our own city manager, made some stuffing for us. And like I say, it's just a group of volunteers that I kind of organize a little bit, and we all come together and have a wonderful day. So people are already planning on seeing us next year. So it's just a great event and goes along with all the rest of the city of Buchanan. You know, we have wonderful volunteers here and around the outer communities, and it's just makes life better here in Buchanan. So, is there any questions?
How many turkeys did you give away, Gladys?
We cooked 10.
Do you cook them all up there? You don't, do you?
No. Actually, Redbud has a large kitchen area that cooks turkeys, and then I cook turkeys.
Redwood Track and Trail.
Redbud Track and Trail, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, Redbud Track and Trail. They have a large kitchen area out there for their events that they have. And so Amy Ritchie's husband was the one that he cooked 7 and I cooked 3.
How many people delivered those 31 meals, do you happen to know?
There was actually 4 young men, 4 teenage young men that have actually, 3 of them have grown up with us. This was our 11th year doing it, and they started when they were younger. And then another family that did it, so I think there was 7 or 8 altogether, 2 separate cars that went out and delivered. So it went really well. We have a good setup on keeping track of the people and where they live, and then we have maps that these deliverers sit down with and pinpoint where everybody lives, and then goes out and delivers, and it takes maybe an hour.
Is that mostly Meals on Wheels recipients then during the regular work week, or?
Actually, it's through senior nutrition at the senior center.
Okay.
It's through the Niles. They don't call it Meals on Wheels, but it's similar to that, where they deliver for residents here. And so what they do ahead of time is they send a paper out to all of their recipients. And then their recipients, they give them my phone number or Jean Dahman's phone number, and then they call us and get on a list.
Okay.
And so it's all handled, and then just word of mouth from Matea Court, Mill Pond. They just know. We put posters up and things, and everybody knows that. Yeah, that it's a great event.
Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate you doing that and heading that up. That's
my pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to add, again, we heard from Barbara at the library today. I'll be reaching out to her to help her, maybe with a little better presentation of the map, so we have a better understanding of where those posts and signs would like to be placed. That way it'll add to all the committees that actually need to review. I know she said she had spoken to several of the committees, but that was some early information. I think the project has progressed to the point where there's more items to look at and understand, and I think she needs to make a round to all those committees to, get a buy-in and seek out a recommendation to the commission for consideration. Again, I think everybody is a little intimidated by the number of posts and signs going into the small area, and what that's going to look like is probably something we need to get a better handle on. Again, it's a great idea and project. I think it'd be attractive and it'd be active, but that's a small area for that number of signs to be placed. So I'll try to work with her so we can maybe get a display and use our new equipment to, give a better understanding to the commission what they're proposing.
Thank you for your help with that, Bill. Do you have anything else?
No, just we do have a scheduled final walkthrough for the Redbud resurfacing project coming up on the 8th. Overall, the project was very successful. We still are waiting for our new light covers. They're supposed to be black instead of yellow. That'll be part of the discussion. And then some very small items that the contractors will address with no problem to finalize the project. So.
Yes, go ahead.
Have you received any feedback on the kind of lane designations?
Yep, there was initially some commentary that the efficiency of the way the lanes have been identified and directed needs to be looked at, and that is part of the conversation on that walkthrough. I've already sent a comment to Whiteman Engineering to take a look at that, and I can see the point. It does create a little bit of a traffic backup stacking situation. If somebody's making a left-hand turn on Front Street onto Redbud, it would cause people to stack up behind them. And because now the lane that you could have used to go around them is a right turn only lane. So yeah, we understand that, and we're going to be talking about that with the engineer.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah? Carla? No? Anything else, Bill?
No.
Okay, great. Let's go on to commissioners' comments. Why don't we start down at the end with Pat?
Okay, I wanted to say congratulations to so many people who are very deserving. I wanted to say congratulations to Bob and thank you for the wonderful meal at Hilltop. And also, we are looking at vintage things to put on Channel 17. I have a feeling you probably have some vintage square dance calling videos that might really show up really good on our TV system. So I don't know what it would take if you have anything in a digital format, but I think that would be a great thing to see. So that would be really fun. So maybe a collage or something. But so think about that. We would love to see some of those kind of things. And congratulations on your recognition, because it is very well deserved. We appreciate your standing up for the city and thanking us, and we thank you for that. I also wanted to thank Gladys and her volunteers. It really is a wonderful gesture to bring people together at the holidays, so that's very special. And I also wanted to include into that Brody Lake, who is a Buchanan area person who provided a lot of turkeys and cooked a lot of turkeys down at one of the rescue missions in South Bend. So he was on television, so I happen to know him. Also, I wanted to say thank you to the people connected to the holiday lighting ceremony and White Saturday, reminding people that it's called White Saturday because it is the opposite of Black Friday, Black Friday being going to the big box stores, and the alternative is the hometown warmth and wonderful parade we were treated with, and all of the volunteers and people connected to that really deserve the city and the DDA and the chamber all deserve a pat on the back, and all their many sponsors. It was a very wonderful event this weekend. And I wanted to also thank the people that attended the recent dog park meeting, and we're looking forward to continued dialogue and hoping they pursue the recommendation to come to the Barb. And I did want to remind people the Barb is not meeting this month. The meeting that would be scheduled be too close to the holidays, so our next meeting will be in January, the third Wednesday of January. So just put that down. Also, I wanted to say congratulations to Carla on her recognition. Very well deserved. I've been there for the whole 6 years, and you really were outstanding, and I appreciate if people knew how many hours you spent just even getting comments from people, they would have given up after the second week. You stuck it out for 6 years, and we owe you a big debt of gratitude. So thank you on behalf of the citizens and the commission and myself.
Commissioner Dan?
Joe, are you a permanent fixture here now? Well, welcome. So you are the Niles Staley Star? So they're going to make a presence known here in the city of Buchanan? Thank you. Thank you very much. Whoever I talk to, tell her thank you too. She'll know. I don't remember her name, but thank you. Beacon did leave Buchanan. I did want to make an announcement. 16th of December, we will no longer have Dr. Brown's office. We will no longer have Beacon in Buchanan. I talked to him today, Mr. Tim McGregor. He was executive director for Beacon Buchanan. They couldn't find a full-time doctor in Michigan with a Michigan license. I know the rules, but it's Michigan. It's Michigan. Beacon is pretty big in Indiana, and he said they've been looking for 2 years, and so we just lost Beacon. I did contact South Bend Clinic and contacted Teresa about South Bend Clinic. They showed some interest, but I basically just gave the numbers to Teresa. Hope you all ate plenty of turkey and watched lots of football.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, great. Carla?
Okay, first, Bob Barnes, thank you for what you did. I was out of state. I couldn't be there because I wanted to say thank you in person. It was fantastic what you did, and I know everyone really appreciated you, and thank you for all your service that you have done for us. I wanted to say Redbud Trail looks fantastic. All the crosswalks painted, new arrows for right turning and left and straight. And I've never seen this town with so many sidewalks or the crosswalks marked. And I just love it. I think it's been fantastic, and I hope all the citizens are enjoying it as well. And no more holes in the street. Holy cow, yeah. What's the date, did you say, Tim, for the Shop with the Cops?
December 10th.
December 10th?
8 o'clock, 8 a.m.
And that's a Saturday? Okay, all righty. I want to say thank you to you and all the guys that helped do that. I think it's great that you're doing this. We have so many kids who really need that to make them feel important, to be able to pick out their own things, to buy things for the family. I think it's a worthwhile project, and I just want to say thank you to all of you for doing that. Again, I want to say congratulations to our new mayor. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So that's it.
Thanks a lot. Okay, Dale?
Tim, I'll check my schedule and see if I can be assistance for you. I'll let Bill know and if I'm open, get over there. And I just want to say, I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that the upcoming holiday and Christmas season, I hope they all enjoy it. And that is it.
Thank you. In case you didn't know, the City of Buchanan, in kind of response to the Berrien County record closing, has come up with their first ever City of Buchanan e-newsletter. Residents can call City Hall and turn in their email address, and they will be emailed this really very, very nice synopsis of all the things going on in town. So like if you have questions about leaf bagging or your water bill, there's just all sorts of information in here, things about your tax bill, how to call the city building inspector. It's a very comprehensive email. There's a nice article about the Buchanan Promise program. And just for good measure, they throw in a really nice recipe in case you're a little bit better at cooking than I am. But I was really impressed. This is a very nice, I think it's a great way to keep people informed. And again, if you need this emailed to you, please contact the city office and they'll get you signed up for that. And also, you can also sign up to get your water bill emailed to you. If you're like me, you always lose a little postcard and then you're a little bit lost. So, but I wanted to thank everybody for your support of me being mayor. Thank you for electing me, and it's my goal to make, kind of follow our city mission, which is Buchanan, life is better here, and I'm going to work really hard to help that along. So thank you for putting your faith in me. I really appreciate it. And a big shout out to my best buddy, Bob Barnes, because, he's the greatest. So thank you. I guess it's up to, sorry.
Mayor, Commissioner, I wanted to let you know that Brian from SMACUS has confirmed that he'll be here Thursday at 6.
Wednesday?
Wednesday?
Or excuse me, Wednesday. Yes.
Okay.
His Wednesday at 6?
Yeah, I was like, uh-oh.
So his Wednesday at 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wednesday at 6.
Okay.
I just
Great.
wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it.
All right, and with that, could I get a motion to adjourn,
I
please?
make a motion.
All right,
Second.
okay, all in favor?